And
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Good
We can
afternoon.
hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
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 afternoon.
afternoon,
afternoon.
ma.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ume Obi, and I am your facilitator for this session. We're supposed to be speaking with Leonard Silk, but I don't think he has joined yet. But while we wait for the Leonard Silk to join, I would like to know generally how the program has been. And bearing in mind that the OVIP session is coming to an end today. After your test today, the OVIP session will be coming to an end. I'd like feedback, maybe somebody at random. I just want one person, please. If you hear one person speak, then that's fine. The other person should please hold on for that person to finish speaking. I'd like somebody to just give a general review. Okay, this person has put up their hand. Please, Abdul Salami, please. We would like Arafat.
All right. Good afternoon, ma. My name is Absalam Arafat. I'm a graduate law student from Christian University. So
Okay.
far, the Omaplex virtual internship plus session it has been inculcating when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to technical law, because over time they've taught us various areas of law concerning corporate governance, concerning intellectual property, yesterday data privacy and protection, alternative dispute resolution, and likes. Now I've done various internships, but I will say this: none of those internships have been very inculcating, such as the Omaplex virtual internship. I was able to learn from very knowledge scholars. Like I think yesterday it was Barrister Olayinka that taught us data privacy and protection. And also just a general review. I was able to, because I have gathered enough knowledge, I think, in my own opinion, from this OVIP session. I was able to learn things that I didn't know before, and also be able to understand things that I actually knew before. This is actually because as lawyers and lawyers to be, or lawyers in equity, or lawyers in equity, we keep learning every day and the learning never stops. So I think that's one thing that the OVIP session has actually made me know, that every day we learn, we keep learning, and we never stop learning. So in summary, the OVIP session has been very inculcating when it comes to general principles of law, both practical, theory, substantial, procedural, and I really appreciate the opportunity that has been bestowed upon us. Thank you.
Thank you, Arafat. Emmanuel, your hand is, you put up your hand. You'd like to say something? Emmanuel,
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. You put up your hand.
I also wanted
Can you be audible, please, so we can hear you?
okay, ma'am. Said I also wanted to give a general overview concerning the internship we've been doing so far. I have really enjoyed every single day. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I've enjoyed every single bit of it from the first day up till yesterday, from um, the class on dispute resolution, alternative dispute resolution, sports law, entertainment law, every single bit of it. And I am very eager to witness today's class. I have attended, I've witnessed the learned sick speaking on about 2 occasions. There's 2 webinars, so I highly anticipate today's session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. So Adeze put in the comment section that we should repeat the question. So I'll ask my question again. And Adeze, please, I'd like you to answer the question because your hand is also up. I asked for a feedback. Generally, how's the session been? Have you learned something that you didn't know before? I just want a general feedback from the first day. The OVIP is coming to an end. So from the first day up until today, your feedback generally. Adeze, please answer my question.
Okay, good evening. So from
Good
the first day
afternoon.
that sorry ma. Good afternoon. My name is Adeza Nikolum from Nnamdi Azikiwe University. So from the first day that we did corporate governance, actually I was not really interested in corporate. You see, I already had this mentality that law is all about litigation and everything. But I'll tell you that after that day, I had an interest in corporate governance, and I got to understand that the law governing what makes a corporate governance a good corporate governance is if the company and the directors under they are complying, their responsibilities are complying according to the stipulations of the Company Allied Matters Act. And that is like the general legislation guiding everybody. And I also got to understand that even us, the customers, the communities, the CEO, everybody are all stakeholders, that even us also plays a role in the productivity of a good corporate governance. Then in sports law, I didn't really have any knowledge of sports. I used to hear about it. But after that day, I got to understand there are many opportunities for people, and I got to even understand, even that corporate governance, I got to also understand the reason why there have been corporate scandals as per the question that the woman asked that day. And because I made a research, I went through a lot of people gave their own answers to the question: greed, weak leadership, oversight. But I went through the Karma Act, and there's something I spotted. I actually spotted that there are some lacunas in the Karma Act, like in the sense that the Karma Act may stipulate a function for a particular person, let's say the company secretary, or section 233 of the Karma Act, which stipulates the responsibility of the investor, but they are not strict, there's no enforcement agency or strict enforcement to ensure compliance. So that is like a problem I noticed on my part, which leads to all these corporate governance, embezzlement of fund, and all these irregularities that constitute in the corporate governance. So then the second, I think we also did the second day we did ADR and litigation, but Saturday did not touch on ADR very well. So he talked about litigation, and I learned a lot of things. I got to understand the difference between affidavit and statement on affidavit and statement on oath, in the sense that affidavit is not standard. Like I got to understand the difference between affidavit and statement on oath. I got to understand the modes of instituting a matter in court, the originating motions and everything. Then I got to also understand the differences between the Federal High Court, State High Court, and all the other courts of coordinate jurisdiction. Then on the next day, we did ADR in key sectors. I don't really know it day to day, but I know I attended all these classes. So I got to understand ADR, and it even sparked an interest in me, in the sense that I really didn't, because that I got to understand that there are many things that you need to consider. Not everything is actually courtroom proceeding. That sometimes you have to consider the party relationship. You have to consider the extent, like the after effects of that strict judgment on the parties. You also have to consider the monetary risk that will also come up. So as a good lawyer and advocate of the honorable court, you should always enforce peace. It's not everything that is always going to court. So that actually, gave me an interest on ADR, that I also put in mind that not all my clients that comes towards me will always, end up in court. And I got to also understand the key areas that ADR showcases in intellectual property, in sports law, in especially families. Mediation is like the most important one that actually occurs. And I got to understand arbitration very well, that it is like the former one among all of them, because there's an arbitrary award then. Then I ADR. What actually made me to understand a lesson very well is that I actually started applying that ADR in my daily endeavors. Like if I see some of my friends, or because there was this issue that came up, so I acted like a mediator between the both of them, something like that. So it actually made me understand. It actually gave me an oversight on how to apply it in other key areas of my day day-to-day relationships. Then we also did entertainment and fashion law. There I got to understand that intellectual property is the backbone of entertainment. And I got to also understand that if you want to be an entertainment lawyer, you have to know the trends, you have to connect a lot of people, and that cannot happen by you sitting down. You have to be attending webinars, attending conferences, following people. Then you make connections, and you have to take a lot of courses for you to be like, for you to stand out in the competitive world. Then we also did data compliance and technology. I think that was yesterday. Both of them actually are not related, but all of them borders on tech something. So it actually gave me an oversight, because I was actually, like I say, that corporate governance made me an interest to corporate law. So I actually told myself I'm going to start learning courses, like our speaker said yesterday, under this data compliance, because even as a corporate lawyer, you also need to know some laws that to ensure that your company or your institution, whether it's bank or any organization, is actually complying with the Nigerian Data Regulations Act and Nigeria Data Protection Act. Like, you need to ensure that your company is complying with this. So for this, you have to have a knowledge of that, for you to stand out. Then I think that's all. For overall, I would say that this is my first internship, and I've gotten a lot because it's my first time. So I paid key attention to every single one of them. I think I missed something on sports law. Okay, yes, something else on sports law is that I got to also figure out a problem, like our speaker pointed out that day, that one of the reasons that Nigeria is not doing very well in the sports law is because Nigeria are not complying with the sports law regulations, that some of the key players are not registered. And I got to understand the major court of sports law is Court of Arbitration in Switzerland. And also I got to understand that for you to even be a sports lawyer, you have to know the general regulations, that is company contract and all these things, before you cannot know the specific regulations that are guiding sports law, both internationally and nationally. Then I got to also understand that the law of sports is called sportiva, less sportiva, yes. Then I got to also understand that the general law guiding all of them, I think, is Article 13 and 14 that guides their behaviors in some sports. I can't remember the words. So I think that's all. So overall, Omaplex has really opened my eye to all, like, if not all, many sectors of law, which I am now, putting interest to know where my passion actually lies and how to, choose the area of practice that I specialize in. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Adeze. From everything you said, I can tell that you listened during every session. So I think you also raised the point of you not getting a very clear knowledge on what ADR was about. I also like you to, whatever questions that you have, send to your group chats. There are people there that will answer your questions and will address the issues that you have raised. I hope that works for you, Adezi, and to answer your question Sorry, please
yes,
speak.
I actually, sorry, ma'am. Maybe it's because I forgot the word I wanted to use. Well, all the sessions I actually understood. I don't have any questions, actually. Maybe something I forgot to say, maybe something I read or something.
Okay, so that's not a problem, but I'm saying generally that if we have questions, please, let's send our questions to the group chat. If our questions are not addressed during the sessions, send your questions to the group chat or send to the email. I promise somebody will get your response across to you. Eniola has something to say too. Eniola, please, your contribution or your feedback.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eniola Oluwede. I'm a student of University of Lagos. And generally, I would not want to painstakingly go through each lesson one by one, but I have to say that, like most people, this is also my first internship, and the word I will use to summarize everything is that it's been intentional. I love the fact that each speaker has been so intentional with what they've been saying, what they've been putting out. It's not just your normal lectures, it's reality put in speech. And that's what stood out for me from the first day to the last day. It was not like they just had to do it. For the passion, the scenarios, the life experiences they've been given, particularly the entertainment law session and even the compliance session of yesterday, how she was just so excited. That's yesterday by Starlinka, how she was just so excited, giving examples, telling us to do this and not do that. The entertainment law session also, when I can remember the comments of many people saying, this is really entertaining again. So it did not just teach it, he embodied it while he was teaching. And another thing that has stood out for me in this internship is really, in all sense of reality, is the attitude of the other interns. Like, it has stood out for me particularly because the my most favorite part of this whole internship is after the classes, going back to the group chats, seeing everybody drop their comments, seeing everybody band each other, laugh in love, and all those kind of things. And even
Okay,
personally,
so Eniola,
I think I've had,
sorry, I like to cut you short. Sorry. The Leonard Silk just joined, so I know that he's quite busy and he's at an event. So I'd like him to quickly speak to us. Then we'll continue with our feedback. So I'd like to somebody's speaking. I think this is Sunday.
Same email that I told you to.
Somebody's microphone is on. Can the person please put off their microphone?
Can we
put off this person's
I saw
microphone?
Alicia's email. Or you didn't hit the nail on the head. Your email mentioned too many unnecessary things that Alicia didn't make.
Okay. I'd like to introduce to us Mr. Omaplex, SAN. He will generally admonish us today as the OVIP section comes to an end. He'll speak to us briefly because he's quite busy, but we have him with us here. And please, whatever questions that we have, whatever issues we have, I'd like us to wait until he's done speaking. Nobody should please interrupt the Leonard Silk. Whatever questions we have, like we've been doing since, sent to either the email or the group chat. So, Leonard Silk, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Madam Obi. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry. I was billed to be at an event with a client, and I just had to step out to be on this call. Please forgive me. I would have loved to spend more time with us on this time. First, to say thank you to the organizers, the coordinators, and everybody that has spoken on this OVIP. Also, to say thank you to all the attendees. Usually, I give some kind of advice based off of where I have been, what I've been through, and how those things have shaped my life. And that was the reason behind the OVIP. It's an internship for us to have basically exposure, and of course some form of mentorship or mentoring. There are people, connections, and relationships you guys can make from here, and it will be lifelong. And I tell people, when you want to grow up, so I've started my session anyways, when you want to grow up, you look around the people around you. If people around you are not they are not going up, then you're not going anywhere. You need to continually surround yourself with people that will lift you up, that perhaps heading somewhere, even if you do not at this point have a plan for your life. I tell people there is room for copying. Just copy somebody that you feel like is moving forward. And of course, that's the essence behind, or the reason behind this introduction of what we're doing, which is also to ensure that we connect, we're able to learn, and particularly for those people perhaps looking for work. I've seen a couple of people come to me to say, thank you for this internship. I added it to my resume and I was hired on the spot. And I was like, oh, fantastic. That's the idea. And it's just to say, I believe strongly that those people have spoken to you. You guys must have impacted, and you no doubt about that. Also to say to follow up on it. I usually also emphasize mentorship. And sometimes a lot of people tell me that they don't have access to the persons they want to be mentored by. And I tell people the mentorship or direct mentoring, and there are indirect mentoring. Indirect mentoring would be you are shadowing the person, you're looking at what works he's doing, you're perhaps following his LinkedIn page, you're following him on other social media handles, and you can study people from the programs they attend, what they do. you can actually know what it is they want to do, and then you can be mentored indirectly. Then direct mentorship, of course, if you're privileged to have somebody in your life that is there to guide you and tell you step by step how to navigate life. And for me, once you're able to find one or two people that can guide you, recently I was sharing with one of my friends that every year, at least at the beginning of the year, I go with my wife to one of our mentors. And we do it twice a year. First at the beginning of the year, tell him exactly what we want to do, where we're going to, what we want to achieve in the year. And then next time is usually at the end of the year, where we tell him what our milestone, where we've headed, what we've done, what mistakes we've made, how we try to correct them, and perhaps things that we're not even sure of. And the man who is my chairman, he would guide us and say, okay, this is what to do, and this is how to do it. And for me, I recommend to all of us, have somebody in your life that you can listen to. Have somebody in your life that can guide you, whether professionally, whether financially, whether in family life, however it is that you want to run it. But I'm always of that um, opinion that you need somebody to of guide you in life. That being said, in your career also, for me, I tell people it's easy to have a 1 year plan, a 6 months plan. But, well, if you're lucky, you're able to stay focused. But where the big deal is, it's very difficult for people to have a 10-year plan. If I want to stretch it, it's difficult to have a 15-year plan. It's also difficult to have a 20-year plan. And so maybe I'll tell you the easiest one to start with is, and I'll tell you why it will differentiate you from everybody. If you have a short-term goal, not having perhaps a very long-term one, that short one, once you achieve it, um, you perhaps would feel fly that yes, you've been able to do it, and then you get filled up in that euphoria, and you perhaps would not be able to know that there's still something better to be done outside. If you do a 10-year plan, now you're not seeing the end in sight. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of staying on the job, staying true to what you're doing to have a 10-year plan, and then you can now break it down into a yearly plan or a quarterly plan or perhaps 2-year plan or whatever it is. Now, the essence of this is this. For anybody that has a 10 or a 20-year plan, then you know the end from the beginning. You know exactly where you're headed. It will guide your day-to-day affairs. It will guide you in decisions you want to make. I'll tell you a story. When I finished from law school and I got called a few months after, or maybe thereabout, or a year after, I got um, approached, or I got the job, one of the biggest banks in Nigeria. And because I had set up a 10-year plan, I turned it down. The person that got the job for me was like, oh, okay, maybe the step or the level they gave me is small. And then he said that perhaps they should give me 2 steps ahead. And he came back to me, gave me 2 steps ahead. And of course, because I had a 10-year plan, I turned it down again, right? It was at that point that the woman she got livid and threw me out of our office and said, I'm not a serious person. But guess what? 10 years after, I took silk. So I told her that so after I took silk, there was a day she saw me, I was like, wow, so impressed. Thank God for what you've done. You're now an inspiration to people. So I laughed. I said, and she was now apologizing for how she treated me some 10 years before. So I was laughing. I said, Madam, I have no misgivings towards you, right? But because I knew I had a 10-year plan, if you give me anything at that point in time, I was not going to take it. Interestingly, even after that job, I got some scholarship, 100% to study abroad. Guess what? I also turned it down. That was when people said this boy is very crazy and that something must be wrong with him. What was that? Um, but of course, because of the 10-year plan, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, how I wanted to go about it. And so one of the things I say to people is have a 10-year long-term plan, and then perhaps you would be able to turn down some offers. There are some offers you also take. There are some decisions you have to take. If you have a 10-year plan to say you want to become a partner in the firm or in the organization you're working with, nothing will make you angry in that office. That's number one. Number two, when people are pulling down the office, you already know that yes, you're going to be here 10 years after. You will caution them and you will work with the office. Number three, when they say you should stay late at work, you already know where you're going to. It will not be a problem to you. So you need to begin to plan, and that's perhaps the greatest advice I would give to you today. If you want to be better than me, do a 20-year plan. Guess what? I already have a 15-year plan ahead that I'm working on, right? So for me, I tell people, and I try to live my life with by the examples, or sorry, by the advice I give to people, right? And so I'm currently working on a 15-year plan for something, and that's perhaps one of the reasons why I'm not physically present to have this meeting at my desk, because there's something I'm pursuing, and it seems like madness. But of course, you need to be able to have a staying power. So advise us, apart from making sure that you leverage on your opportunities and your network, I would also say that you should continually begin to build up your bridges. And if you see yourself as a judge in the next 10 years, there are some things that you would not do. There's a lifestyle you will live. If you see yourself as owning a business, there's some things you will do. There's a lifestyle you would live. And so for me, you have to continuously keep planning, keep moving, keep trying your best to ensure that you get to exactly where you want to be and you keep moving. Madam Obi, how many minutes have I spoken for?
5 minutes. 5 minutes, sir.
Only
So I would
five?
like you to have it for
I've tried to.
another 4 minutes. Sir. After 4 minutes,
No,
please.
please, I've tried. Any questions for
Okay,
me, please? I have to go. Any
okay,
questions
sir.
for
So
me from anybody?
we'll take only one question so you can go.
Oh, yeah, no. So, what's the question?
Okay, please, does anybody have any question for the learned before he goes, please? Abdul Salam, please ask your question. Can every other person put on their microphone, please?
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. So my name is Absalam Arfas. I'm a graduating law student from Christian University. So my question is basically on everything you've said, because I was able to bullet point everything you said into two, which is build relationship and basically plan yourself. So in our Nigerian system today, yeah, of course, relationship works and everything, but there's a particular mantra that I want to have your view on, which is that it is not about who you know, it's about who knows you, who know you. So, like, on the aspect of you saying build relationship and everything, I believe that, which is also an opinion, but you can also put your own feedback on it. I believe that sometimes we push we young lawyers, we push too much. Of course, we want to be noticed. Of course, we want to be the best in our field, and we also want to be like you. I think so far you're the youngest senior advocate of Nigeria, if I'm correct. So I believe that this particular how can I put it? This particular, like, this relationship, they are not coming like the outside this thing, and the other learned colleagues, the great men that have made it. They are not really pushing back to we the young
Sorry,
lawyers.
Abdul Salam, please,
And
can you ask your question, please, so we can let the learners go? Can you ask a question?
all right, so it's basically about him saying plan yourself. So my question so far is just saying that you said, can we also have like 2-year plan or 5-year plan, because he was mentioning something like 10-year plan, 20 years plan and everything. So can we like minimize the years, because time is consuming, time is money, time is quality. So that's just simply my question. Like, can it be a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, something smaller?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for me, like I mentioned, yes, you can have a 2-year plan. You can have a 10-year plan. Sorry, you can have a 10 months plan. You can have 1 month plan. Do you understand? For me, what I'm saying is this: if you have a 2-year plan and your life is just only on 2 years, you perhaps will be myopic in where you want to get to. I only advise to say have a 10-year plan. It will guide you on how to live your life. So imagine you have a plan. I don't know how many years post call you are. You want to be a judge, for example. Now, for you to be a judicial officer, there's a 7-year requirement. There are cases you need to have done. Sorry, a 10-year requirement. If you want to be a magistrate, I think it's 7 or so. If you want to be a high court judge or a federal high court judge, it must be minimum 10 years post call. Now, even the system has already pegged your life in a particular way. Now you know when people are going clubbing and they are posting smoke that they are smoking, because if you want to be a judge, you can never do that. If people are going abusing judges or abusing people, and they will now check your social media handle in the next 10 years, you cannot do that. But if you live your life and say it's only a 2-year plan you're doing, when they are saying government is bad, judges are corrupt, in your 2 years you will go and mention it. So the concept with which I'm saying is this: when you know where you're doing, where you're going to, you'll be able to, you'll be careful in how you live your life. And of course, imagine that you already know that you want to be a judge. Judges conferences, making relationship with people that are going your way will give you a lot of things. And so that's my advice. That's the perspective with which I'm talking from. I'll be over to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Fla, for coming. We don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you. We'll continue with our feedback. Please, I'd like everybody to clap for the learned talk. So our hands are in the comments.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. God bless. I appreciate. Thank you. God bless everybody. Bye-bye. Sorry, you can hear something behind, and then I need to go. Sorry. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. So Eniola was speaking before the learned talk came. I don't know if he's still available to speak.
Yes, I am.
I don't know if okay. So please, could you continue what you were saying? I don't know if you remembered, but you were giving us a general feedback on the OVIP session generally. So please.
Yes. Thank you very much. So the NFC can just confirm what I've been saying in the tight schedule. The intentionality to make, albeit a little time available for, just shows the intentionality behind what, and that's one of the very things I appreciate. And I move further to say that one of the things that I loved about this internship is the word homeliness amongst the interns. Like, one of my favorite parts of the day after listening to the classes is to look at the comment section, look at our WhatsApp group, see how people are relating, and even I've had a few people connect to get on a personal chat DM level. And so the attitude of the interns, when you see law student outside, everybody's has this stereotype of straight. Even me sometimes it's difficult for me to relate to some of my fellow law students because of the scholar, everybody up and down. But the attitude of homeliness amongst the interns has really made it. I think my LinkedIn profile has skyrocketed because of the connections and everybody just connecting, and I really appreciate the homeliness that the internship has encouraged, and also the intentionality of all the speakers towards us. They really imparted so much wealth of knowledge, and we are really going to run with it for a long period of time. They've given a solid background and foundation for us to run with. And these are of many other things that I really appreciate. These are two major key points that I love about the internship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eniola. I am actually sorry for interrupting you earlier. The NSA had to speak, but thank you for your contribution and your feedback. I'll take maybe 2 more questions or 2 more people can speak before I give a general, I admonish you generally before we end the session. So I'd like Peace. Peace put up her hand or his hand. I don't know who Peace is. Peace, are you ready to speak? Or should I call another person? There's Juliet. Peace or Juliet, whoever. Nobody's responding. So do I? Okay, please speak.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Abara Juliet. I'm a 500 level student of Leeds City University. So basically, I've enjoyed the internship so far from the beginning. Although I started on the second day, but only to find out that the class on corporate governance was recorded. And that's like the most important part for me, because most times I like to go back to things to just see what I've missed and just listen in between the lines and just make my own kind of notes to my understanding. So I'm just really excited that despite the fact that we attend the classes, we still receive the recordings afterwards and even slides so that we can go back to it. And then aside that, it has also been the mentors for me, like the intentionality in letting us and making us understand the questions, the reception to questions is just amazing. And then even because as the facilitator is announcing the mentors, I used to go and follow them on LinkedIn, and immediately they are following back. They are just all active, and like from the day one, I'll be following all the mentors.
Please, we can't hear you. I'm sorry, Juliet, we can't hear you anymore. Can anybody hear Juliet?
No, ma.
Okay, so I think she went off. So let me pick the last person to speak to us before we go. Isiwele. Is Isiwele ready to speak?
Yes, ma. I'm ready, ma.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please speak to.
All right. Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, everybody. Isiwele Izegboa Favor, a graduate of Ambrose Ali University, and I would really, first of all, like to appreciate the facilitators and also the speakers that we've had over time. In fact, the OVIP program has been very amazing, impactful, and very insightful. I must say that aside from the old classroom experiences, the internship is actually giving us the real world practicality. And I must say it has been very, very good and amazing. And for someone like myself that is not even a sports enthusiast, I really got to know that there are even opportunities that you can dive into in when it comes to sports law. And then we also had that of the entertainment law. In fact, it has been really, really amazing to me, and I've really learned a lot, and I'm really grateful to be part of this internship. It's really, really an eye-opener, and I'm super grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Isiwele. I have happily received your feedback, and I am very grateful to hear that everything that's happened so far has actually been very insightful, and nobody has actually given a bad comment. I can see that Juliet has network issues, and I'm very sorry about that. And I don't know if she can still hear us. I don't know if she's willing to still speak. But I am very happy for the feedback. I know that Leonard was supposed to have speak to us a bit more, but like he said, he's actually very engaged. But if I like to say, if anybody has any questions, if there's anything that you're unsure or unclear of, please send a message to our emails. You have our LinkedIn, you have everything. Like Siwele said, we follow people back. We're actually very active and all that. So please also feel very free to ask questions, feel very free to send your messages to the group chat. We'll also send messages to the group chat to keep in touch with you guys. Like, the community is actually very big, and we would like to also keep in touch with you, know how far you're coming and everything. I know that I think they already told you guys that you have a test session today. Sorry, Juliet is saying that she wants to speak. Juliet, are you ready to speak now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please let's give Juliet 2 minutes so she can speak to us. Round up what she was saying before, so we can round up. Juliet,
Yes,
please,
so
you have the floor.
thank you very much. Basically, I just appreciate this opportunity to be part of this internship. Like, it's been amazing. It's been educating in all aspects, especially when the one internship that stood out for me during this period is one session that stood out for me is the session on dispute resolution, because I have a personal interest in ADR. Basically, I just feel like it's so stringent to go to court most of the time. Like, why don't you just try other means of resolution? And then when the I think it's Miss Lillian, she said that she mentioned and she focused on the difference between mediation and conciliation. So that made me like find that the distinguishing factor between both mediation and conciliation, and also sports law, and then finding the link between sports law and ADR, because I think the mentor mentioned that most of the time sports related disputes are not usually taken to courts. Instead, they are taken into arbitration, and that's the faster way because of the terms of contract and the time duration of the contract. So basically, it's just been amazing. Like, it's broadening my knowledge. Like, I'm thinking of different aspects of law I can venture into, because now people are thinking that it's already getting, there are too many lawyers, but the same way there are too many lawyers, there's so many things to do and so many things that are relating to law. So I'm just appreciative of this forum, and I want to ask a question also.
Okay, yes, please ask a question.
Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know if after the internship is over, like the 4 weeks duration, because I think the internship is supposed to be for 4 weeks after the sessions that we've had. Like, with the groups, I was wondering if our group will still stay, because I believe that meeting people is like a kind of opportunity for me. And then I just want to ask if the group will still stay.
Okay, so we're not dissolving the group. The group is always going to be there. We also send our articles, our paper publication, the things that we do in the office, we send to the group chat for people's consumption. So you're not just sitting back and relaxing. You have some things to read, you have things to acknowledge yourself with and all that. So we're not going to dissolve the group at any point. So if that's your fear, please don't worry. And also, please, if you are in maybe Unilag and you've met somebody here that's also a Unilag, please people should try meet up with each other. You can connect. No opportunity, no connection is bad connection. Connect, make friends. Generally, in response to your question, we're not dissolving the group anytime soon. So please don't bother about that. We're not going to dissolve the group. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Juliet, for your feedback. So like I said earlier, I'm happy that the feedback that we're getting are actually positive. I'm also very happy that all these sessions were very insightful. I want us to also bear in mind that as there are many lawyers that are being called to bar, there are so many problems that actually now need lawyers that need the aid or the help of lawyers to resolve them. So please, let's not bother. When you hear people who say, oh, they're calling people to bar every month, every year, yes, we are human beings. As many people they are, that's how many problems they are going to need lawyers to resolve for them. So I was also instructed to tell you guys that you are going to have a test after the session today. Maybe I think they said around 5. And I was also instructed to tell you that if you don't pass the test, you are not going to get your certificate. So I admonish us, do well to attempt the test. I can see that people are not, I can see somebody's commenting that some people are not able to join with the link. I don't know why, but please also tell them. I'm sure that they've dropped a message on Impulse group chat too, stating that I'm giving you more information about the test. So please would communicate with you better. Somebody asked how many weeks is the internship for, please. The OVIP is coming to an end today. But if you want to intern in the office, there's an email on our website. You can send your application there. Then you will get you get a response from us. I hope that works for everybody.
Ma, please, I want to ask a question, please. I want to
Okay.
ask a request, just a request, not even a question. Please,
Okay.
is it possible that we can have the LinkedIn handle of our Learned Sync?
Yes, please. They will send the LinkedIn of everybody. Both, I think they already sent it. They'll send everybody's LinkedIn on the group and generally everywhere. They send the LinkedIn's. They'll send the Learned Silk's LinkedIn. They'll send the LinkedIn of everybody that's facilitated. And then yes, please also do well to follow the Learned Silk on all social media platforms. Because like even though he's our sponsor, he has sponsored this OVIP program. So please let's do well to follow him and engage with him.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Do have a nice day. Please prepare for your tests. They'll send you the questions and the version. Yes, please speak. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Do have a nice day.
Sorry, can you take a question?
What question?
Okay. You mentioned that after the internship is gonna end today. So my question is, you said if we actually want to like intern further, we can send applications. So my question is, the further internship, is it going to be like the physical, like at the office, or it can be virtual too?
Okay, so if further internship, if you want to intern in the office, like I said, in our office, so it's physical. So if you want to intern in the office, it's actually a physical internship, and send the email to send application. So I think they'll send it to the group chat too. So you have first-hand information. They send the email that you can send if you want to physically intern in our office. They send the email to the group chat. It's also on our office website. In case you don't see it on the group chat, it's on our office website. You can go there and send your application to the email. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Please do have a nice day.
Okay, ma, please. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for the
Okay, ma, please.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yes, somebody wants to speak. Yes, good afternoon.
Ma, please. I wanted to ask about some of the presentation slides or documents.
Yes. Sorry,
if it can be furnished to the group.
It skips my mind. Yes, it will be the recording of every session so far. I think they'll post on YouTube, so you can check our office YouTube page. They'll send the link or they'll send the channel, so you can go there and you have access to the interactive sections that we have had so far. They'll also send, I think they'll send to your group chats the slides and everything that they've used so far. So they'll send to your emails.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much. If you can just refresh it for us so that we
No
can
problem.
go through
They'll
it.
do so.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
They'll do so.
Ma, please, I have a question, ma.
Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity, ma. It was a privilege and great opportunity learning here. Ma, for the fiscal internship, I've sent mine like several times so through the email, but no response. So I don't know if maybe I'm not sending to the right email. I don't know, ma. And when is the application starting for the fiscal one?
Okay, so like I said, they'll send the correct email to people's group chats. So you have like the email there to send your applications to. Then for people that are asking when the physical internship is going to start, please, the office is open. I think it's open throughout the year. So I think at a goal for a period of 1 month, I think we take in 10 interns. So if we take in 10 people today, this month, we take in another 10 next month. So always send in. If we send an application and it's not taking you, please do well to send. If possible, send every month, so that your application will be on top. Does that work?
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay. So does any other person have a
ma.
question?
Yes, ma. Okay, ma. Please, sorry about
Yes,
the
sir.
about the email. I don't know if it's from my own end. There was a time I tried sending an on-site application internship on-site. So they were telling me that the email is not like, maybe the email address is not correct or something. I tried so many times and was getting the same feedback.
They will send. Okay, so please calm down. Everybody's asking about the email. So to address this email issue, I'll say it for the last time. They'll send you the correct email to send your applications to. We have interns in our office at the moment. They sent their applications to those email, and we have taken them in. They are doing their physical internship right now. So please, if anybody has a question about the email, they will send the correct email to your group chat. I think they've already done so. Or yes, they've done so. Okay, so they said they'll do it at the end of the session. So if it's about the email, we're going to send you the email and you send your applications to.
Okay, ma'am.
So thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
everybody.
I have a
Yes,
question.
please. We're taking your question as the last question. Please ask your question.
Okay. Can we have more details on how the quiz is going to take place, the test, how the form? What platform are we going to use?
Okay. So it's a Google Sheet. They'll send you the link. They'll give you all information. You are going to be in contact with IT and they'll give you all information before the test. So please be with your phones or your laptop or whatever you're using to connect. Around 5, I think they said it's around 5. They'll send all the information that you need and they'll send the test questions. So don't worry yourself about it. Just prepare for your test. Reflect on everything that has been taught so far and prepare to just apply to take the test. Like I said earlier, if you don't pass the test, you're not getting your certificate. So I hope that's not a problem. So thank you. Do have a nice day. I look forward to seeing your test and reviewing it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma.